So I'm delighted to be here today with Matt Walker because he has written this book all about maths for children in year 5. And it was only when I started talking to Matt now that I realized he's also famous in teaching circles for his piano video to encourage children to do the piano, which was the last thing I expected. But it's just a joy. So I promise if you haven't seen that video, it is awesome. And I'll put a link to it at the end of this one. So welcome today, Matt. It's lovely to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
And thank you for writing this book, which is truly different to any other book for maths that I've seen, just like your piano video. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came to write this book, please?
Yeah, so as you've mentioned, I'm predominantly a piano teacher and piano accompanist, but then I also write quite a lot, and mostly piano books, it has to be said. But ever since I was really young, I've written young adult novels. I've written 6 young adult novels and a couple of adult thrillers as well. So I've always wanted to write for kids. And before the idea of having a maths book came along, I wanted to write a book that was almost like a game book, because kids spend lots of times playing games, whether it's PlayStation or on their phones and that type of thing. And I wanted to write a book that they could become a character in the book and choose how the story unfolds, basically. And then I almost, it came afterwards that I thought I could add maths questions in, and they could, by answering them, improve the character that they are playing throughout the book. So that's where the idea came from.
Cool. And what kind of child did you have in mind when you wrote the book?
It was always going to be like a revision guide, basically. So on the same level as like the CGP revision guides, for instance. So anyone in year 5, this is specifically written for year 5 because it's based on the year 5 syllabus, but anyone who is in year 5 who maybe is struggling at maths, just to engage, like being able to improve their maths and carry on with the story that they're reading. So I wanted it to be an engaging story, and for them to want to progress with the story and therefore want to complete the maths challenges by doing it that way. So, but I'd like to think it's for everyone.
So, for me, it is definitely for teenagers. Having raised my own children, there's this stage, it's the Beast Quest, or the stage where they want to read adventure books written by their favorite YouTuber about Minecraft worlds.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a parent, they're nearly at the stage where they're engaging with really complex ideas, and they're nearly at the stage where they're going to engage with complex ideas that you actually want to talk to them about, but they're determined to stay in these fantasy worlds that you don't know anything about as a parent. And it's
so
just
I wanted it to be like a combination, the combination of the two. So for them to be in the world that they love, and to encourage the reading as well, but then to have to complete these maths challenges to progress throughout the world that they're reading. So that was the idea behind it.
So one of the things that struck me about this book is that it's really well put together, and where you've got definitions of terms in, they're absolutely correct. The content is spot on, but children may get stuck. The ideas of how to do the maths aren't deeply explained. So how do you imagine children coping with that when they get stuck?
Yeah, so mostly it would be a revision guide. So it's not necessarily explaining the maths topics in great detail. You would be expecting them to have learned the maths topics at school and be using this as revision. Although absolutely there will be times where having help from an adult, whether that be a parent or a teaching assistant or someone like that, would probably be beneficial. Although I had hoped that children would be able to go through and read through it independently. At the end of year 5, when they're just revising what they've done throughout the year.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good one for children to use at home. If they've got a parent or a tutor that they can check in with. It'd be difficult to make the time to use it at school. Is it the only one? It says it's part 1, so is there a part 2 on the way?
It is the only one at the minute, but yes, part 2 is on the way. Hopefully next academic year, we'll have part 2, which is called The Pit, and which is the remaining topics in year 5 get covered.
Yeah, and then are you going to go on to year 6?
That's the plan, yes.
So I think as a set, they could work quite well for teenagers who are trying to catch up.
Yes, definitely.
And they're looking to work over the summer and have somebody around that they can go to when they're stuck. That's how I imagine it really working.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure.
Perfect summer holiday revision, as it were. Yeah.
You've had some amazing reviews on Amazon. I should go back to those and see where it's working from there. I didn't read them thoroughly enough when I was preparing for this. I'm sorry about that.
But, that's okay.
Well done. So what are you most proud of about this book? What do you like most?
I think the originality I'm quite proud of, because I don't think there's ever been anything combining maths revision with a story like I do. So hopefully it's encouraging reading as well as encouraging maths work. That would be what I'd hope from it. And yeah, that's what I'd be most proud of, if that is indeed what it turns out to achieve.
Yeah, I think it's truly original. So thank you for taking the time today to talk to me about it. And I'll be really interested to watch its progress over the next year or 2. Have you got a publisher who's right behind it? The publisher here is Battle Pages.
No, it's independently published, so I publish everything myself. Battle Pages is the battle system that the book uses, and the subsequent books in the series will use the same Battle Pages battle system, which is just how you play out the battles actually in the book. Okay.
I've got a feeling I've spoken to someone who's a really special person today and is going to do many interesting things during his career. And I will be very interested to see which of them prove to be the most successful. Having seen a little bit of your piano playing, I'm now suspicious that there's a heck of a lot here, and it's been a real privilege to talk to you today. So thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you for having me.